question for you all. What happened to the other 10 Mega Man games? Here we have Mega Man 11 with them on. Any percent no OOB. Take it away. Good luck and have fun.
Hello everyone, greetings from Finland. My name is Ahmad. I am going to play Mega Man 11 80% no out of bounds normal difficulty mode. And for the commentary we have Karterfreak and Fastatcc. Say hello.
Hey guys.
Hi, how's it going? You sure you're not doing one hit, no a buster only?
No, not this time. I think
Can't convince you. All right.
Shoutouts to Cool Kid. Yeah, I guess we're ready to go. So in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so Mega Man 11 is the latest release of the classic Mega Man games. It was released late 2018. It is, again, like one of the classic games. It just uses 2.5D graphics this time around. They added a couple neat things in this version of the game. One of the things is that there is a dedicated rush button in this game, which you can use for Rush Coil and for Rush Jet. They both have their own separate button. For this run, we also have access to the auto fire button. It's a mappable button in the controls, so it is allowed for use in this run. We also have access to two new mechanics that were introduced in this game, which are the power gear and the speed gear. Would you like to explain those there, Fast?
Yeah, absolutely. So power gear and speed gear are two really important facets of the run, brand new for this game. Speed gear is something that slows down time. We're going to see both of these in this stage and then throughout the run. Speed gear slows down time, allowing you to make certain cycles. It slows Mega Man down as well, so we're not going to try to use it too much, but it's going to have some uses. Power gear, you're going to see a ton in this run. It makes both the buster and the weapons that we get more powerful. So coming up in this next room here, we're going to see our first use of speed gear. You're going to see the whole screen slow down right there just to make it over that little rolling dude. And then we're going to charge up our power gear here. You'll notice that when we charge up something with the gear, we have a little cooldown timer. Basically, we can burn out the gear. Here we go. We're charging up power gear. And we're going to use a full power shot there. So that has the properties of being stronger and piercing through things, so it allows us to take out the mini-boss really quickly. But we burned out our gear there, so we're not going to be able to use gear at all until it cools off, until we see the gauge in the left empty out.
So we're getting into probably one of the scariest screens of impact here. We're going to do some damage boost over these spikes and use some Rush Coil to jump across these gaps. If you fall down there, there is a big pit below you, so you will take a death. Thankfully, the checkpoint is right before that room, so you don't lose too much time if you do take it.
It is really scary, though.
And then we have another vertical screen here. We're going to use Rush Coil off of these moving platforms and just to climb up. If we weren't in a marathon setting, you could actually go on the left side there and jump up where those spikes are, but it's not exactly the most marathon safe thing ever, so we won't be seeing that.
Yeah, you don't want to get sent back to the checkpoint there.
All right, so yeah,
this boss fight's interesting.
Yeah, this boss fight, so we're trying to keep him above 50% HP and then quickly kill him with 2 charged power busters before he finishes an attack. If we do it right, he won't get to go into his gear phase. If we don't, then we're going to see a big transformation for this guy where there is no escape. Let's see how it goes. So here comes the 2 shots now. And he got an easy pattern for doing it, so very nice kill from Ahmad. And he is
yeah, very friendly pattern.
very happy to get that, because that can lose a fair amount of time if you don't get that just right.
Yeah, just like Mega Man, the bosses all have a gear transformation as well. Half of them have a power gear transformation, half of them have a speed gear one. Generally, they are invulnerable during it, and Impacts is one of the longest ones. It's like 15 seconds that you have to wait as he does a desperation attack. So yeah, really good job for Ahmad there.
Yeah, so finishing up that boss, we got access to Impact Man's weapon, which is Pile Driver. Pile Driver is going to be used pretty much anywhere that we're not sliding. It is a dash forward that will kill any enemies in its path as long as they would die from the amount of damage it does. You'll see here he'll actually use it to go through this crunch dawn. One of the other things that you'll see a lot in this game is that we try and kill enemies so that we can pick up their ammo drops, as ammo drops do not actually slow you down in this game. And we want to be impacting as much as possible. So you'll see Ahmad will be taking time to kill enemies and try and get their drops. So he can impact as much as possible.
Yeah, Impact first. It's obviously the big reason we go there, just because of how strong this pile driver is. We're going to be using every trick we can to get as much pile driver ammo as we can, since this is the fastest way to move horizontally. As Carter was saying, we're going to be farming for drops. This is a strat Ahmad came up with here to kill this bunny. A lot of the... Oh, yeah, very nice. So yeah, basically, you want to go out of your way to kill some enemies that you wouldn't necessarily normally have to. Like, you can slide under him, no problem, but being able to farm the drop from him gives us more pile driver ammo, which, you know, is going to speed up the stage. So, yeah.
Also, if you weren't paying attention, that was a mini boss there. He got killed real quick using the final buster charge and just some auto fire into an impact. Really, really quick mini bosses in this game, when you know the weaknesses to them, they just kind of melt. We didn't have that one's particular weakness, but just auto fire being so powerful, you can take him out before he even closes his eyes.
Yeah, I promise you the mini bosses are not as easy in this game as Ahmad is going to make them look, but they absolutely melt because you get so strong in this game.
All right, so coming up on probably the scariest screen of Tundra. I'm sure anyone who has played this casually had a lot of trouble with this screen. The wind is going to pick up in the middle of this screen. That's going to kind of change these. And we had a little bit of a hiccup.
That backup was so sick. That was so sick.
But we got through it. All right, so going into Tundra here, we're going to be using 4 charge power busters. The second one we're going to try and hit on Tundra so that the first shot doesn't connect and the second one does, and Ahmad gets it perfectly. And that will delay his stagger just long enough that he doesn't get to use his speed gear, and Ahmad got a perfect Tundra kill.
Not worried at all, right, Ahmad?
I think my heart stopped.
You're supposed to take the top route there. Ahmad fell to the bottom, and you have to thread the needle on the impact there when you make that mistake. And Ahmad nailed it. That's so good.
Yeah, thankfully, there's a nice backup there where you can kind of just like bonk your head off of the ceiling and impact across. So if that does happen, it's not the end of the world, but it's definitely a heart stopper if it goes wrong.
Yeah, we're coming into Torch stage. This is a very horizontal stage. It's a really interesting one in the run because, well, first of all, impact is going to be really useful here because it's so horizontal. But second, we kill a lot of enemies in this stage, and keeping in mind what we were talking about before about drops, there's a lot of enemies that can drop a big refill. So we're going to be killing a lot of enemies, we're going to be looking for refills, and Ahmad has to know, based on his ammo count, how many small and big drops he's got, where he's going to use his impacts for maximum efficiency.
One of the other features of this stage is you'll see there was a firewall that was chasing Ahmad. That'll show up 2 more times in this stage. That firewall tends to rubber band, so if you're going really quick, it catches up to you really quickly. We have another mini boss here, and he's gone now.
Yeah, you see ya.
He tried his best to land on the ground before he died, but it didn't happen. So here we got the second firewall here. Ahmad is going to be grabbing this W tank, and okay, everything's fine.
We're good. Everything's fine.
As you can see, Tundra actually can freeze the firewall, so luckily the Tundra saved his life there.
Yeah, you kind of switched to Tundra there just in case. Usually the tricky part is jumping through that one tile gap, but he fell through it on the way back down, so he needed to make sure that he stopped the wall before it hit him.
So we're going into the last firewall screen here in just a moment. This one we have a set of enemies that we're gonna like shoot them once to turn off their like torch and just kind of climb up and get this large ammo. And then at the end we're gonna do this neat charge shot that's gonna hit a tent, and then we're gonna shoot one more charge shot to stun this shield guy and then impact through him. And really well executed. So we have Torchman now. Torchman unfortunately has the weakness of probably one of the most powerful weapons in the game, an AoE nuke that is Tundra. So he does not have a very good time of it. He gets 2 power Tundras to the face, followed by a regular Tundra and then a power Tundra, and he just kind of goes down. It also happens to be the only weapon that can hit him when he's in his power gear phase, so even more necessary to have it.
Yeah, that one we don't have to skip the transformation. Obviously, we'd have to wait a long time if we didn't have his weakness, but since we do, no problem. So now we get Torch, which is an extremely powerful weapon. We're going to be using it a lot in conjunction with Impact, because when you use Torch, especially when you use it with power gears, so we saw a power gear buster earlier, now would be a good time probably to talk about how the power gear works with weapons. So if you use Torch, for instance, without power gear, you get a single one. If you use it with power, you get the triple shot that you see there. And you can see how much screen coverage that has and how far ahead of you it gets. So that allows you to kill things before you get to them, and so you can impact through and clear it out before you get there.
Yeah, in this stage here in particular, you'll notice there's like these explosive boxes, and you can actually detonate them ahead of time. You're supposed to hit these tripwires that will start detonating the blocks, but you can just throw a torch and it'll blow them up like way ahead of time. You see Ahmad uses it there to take the top path for the W tank. Here we have another mini boss. I'm just gonna throw some thunders at him and he'll explode. They were just having...
I think now's a good time for a couple donations, Sky, if you have them.
Absolutely, and we have a lot of familiar faces here too. We have $100 from Ahmad's Twitch chat, who says, "Are you sure? Ta-da! Are you sure? Ta-da! Good luck, Ahmad, Fasta, and Carter. Much love from Masal1, Theagach, Danya Keto, Demilent, Roku Man, Scarf, and the rest of the classic mega speedrunning community." We have... Oh, I thought that was adorable too. We have $150 from LV Creed, who says, "Got to get in my obligatory shoutouts to all the Mega Man runs this AGDQ during this Mega Man block. Of course, that includes the X5 run earlier in the event, and our mousy Mega Man clone, Nezumi Man, later on in the event. I always love to see my favorite gaming franchise represented so well in the GDQs, and this one is no exception. Let's keep up the good runs going and continue to help fight cancer." We have time for one more?
Yeah, go ahead.
We have $50 from Sage Hero, who says, "Good luck to Cool Kid, Ahmad, and Luis. Excited to see some impossible game 11 get destroyed today. We like to spike." Back to y'all.
All right, so that was Blast Man. Blast Man, we start using, now that we have Tundra, we start using it to like hit the bosses at the first possible moment using auto fire, because you can buffer inputs in this. So he uses the Power Tundra to quickly hit Blast, and then follows it up with 3 Power Busters to finish off the fight, and it was really well executed. Finishing up that, we get access to Chain Blast now, which is normal version. You can summon like 4 small mines, and the Power Gear version, you summon 1 big blast mine that will be used quite a bit, especially in Blockman stage. We'll be using it to kill Crunch-Dons as it kills them in 1 hit, and to take care of some stage hazards as we go through the stage.
Yeah, in addition, now that we've completed 4 stages, much like Mega Man 10, you get access to Rush Jet after completing any 4. So we're going to see Rush Jet there. It's actually going to mostly replace Rush Coil. We'll see one at the end of this screen here, but Rush Jet is a more energy efficient and faster way to climb generally. So whenever there's a ladder or a screen transition like that, you're going to see a very quick Rush Jet jump. And like Carter was saying earlier, both Coil and Jet are bound to their own buttons, so we get to have quick access to them. In addition to that, one of the coolest features I think this game added was you can swap 2 weapons with the right analog stick. So rather than having to cycle through all of them with the shoulder buttons, you can just pick any weapon you want from the weapon wheel at any time. And you can see that you can have multiple weapons out at the same time, and you can switch the coil and all that, so you can do so many really fancy things with all the power that you have in this game.
Yeah, and the weapons in this game are exceptionally powerful too. I don't think there's any one weapon that is bad in this game. Like there's some that are bad for going quickly, but outside of that, like every single weapon is useful. In the speedrun, we see a lot of block and torch and blast, like obviously impact too, but like those are the main ones that we end up seeing the most of. Okay, so we have another screen here that there's going to be some puzzle blocks that are dropping down. If you were playing casually, you probably know that you had to like navigate through those, but you can just blow them up with blast. So we just blow those up and go on our merry way.
Even a single tiny blast will kill it. You don't even have to use the big one.
Yeah, it's kind of funny just like watching the really tiny mine just blow up the big block. It's like falling down.
I love that jet into impact there. That's so cool. Get up!
Ladders are impossible in Mega Man games.
This fight's really cool too. You want to explain it?
Yeah,
Carter?
so we start this fight off with a buffered power blast, and then we're going to shoot 2 mines into block, detonate those, and then 4 mines across to the right. And then as those 4 mines are traveling, we're going to start charging our power buster. And if everything works out perfectly, then we will be able to get this final shot right before Block does his transformation, and Ahmad pulls it off perfectly.
Guys, I have
Beautiful.
only one question for you both. Are you sure?
Ta-da!
Ta-da! As Ahmad alludes to, we are going to be doing our shopping trip. Roll is very...
Talkative?
Well, you'll see. Yeah, very talkative.
Yeah, so one of the differences from the last time this game was at GDQ is that we are using a shop route now, mostly because W tanks allow us to go very fast. And the 4 W tanks that are in the stages are not enough. So we go to the shop and we buy 6 W tanks and we use them pretty much everywhere we can. In this stage in particular, this used to be a 1 W tank stage and is now a 2 W tank stage. Just because we end up using so much rush to climb up ladders faster and just all the impact that we use in the stage as well.
Yeah, it's really cool because so this stage is probably one of the hardest in the run. We're gonna see one of the coolest strats here, the coil jet. Swapping off of coil into jet, you have a very tight window to do that. You're gonna see us do a W tank here. Basically, we used all of our impact and coil. Impact to go horizontally, or rush, I should say. Rush to go horizontally. And then we use the W tank to refill both. And using 2, we get to go through this very difficult stage very quickly. This mini boss is cool. You're gonna see 4 different weapons used here. And it's just gone.
Yeah, shoutouts.
Say goodbye to Pump Master K.
Yeah, shoutouts to Pump Master K. Yeah, he's in the little frog balloon there. This game actually has some pretty cool lore too. If you ever take the time to play this game and take a look at the lore that's included in it, like some of them are really creative. Like the one for Torchman has him training under a waterfall for a bit, and he gets all rusted. Takes like weeks to recover. And the frog balloon there apparently is like terrifying to children.
The enemy designs, the backgrounds, like everything's so beautiful in this game. They really put a lot of effort into it. In case you blinked for the mini-boss the first time, you're going to see it again. And then a really cool strat here to use the blast to manipulate our position to try to go through the door at the bottom. We got a couple really cool rooms here, so we're going to see another coil jet, and we're going to see another one coming up here.
Ahmad makes this look...
Wow, those are so hard. That's so hard.
Yeah, he makes it look so easy, but it's so difficult. And this is a new strat here that Ahmad actually figured out. So he's going to charge up a full power buster and try and do... Oh no, he fired the wrong way. The plan was to try and use that to use Rush to boost you forward with the Buster shot, because Buster in this game, when you use it on Rush, if it's charged, will actually propel you forward, and it propels you forward a lot when you have the full charge version. You can use it to skip that bouncer, but unfortunately didn't get it. All right, so going into Bounce Man. Bounce Man does not like spikes, so we're going to power impact into him, and he's going to blow up into a bunch of pieces, follow up with a charged power buster, and then another power impact to finish off the fight.
I gotta say, that was a really, really good impact stage, but Ahmad missed the one thing he probably wanted to get in the most. That's unfortunate.
Oh well.
Yeah, that bounce was really good.
That strat Ahmad came up with skips that big drop to the trampoline, and Ahmad has come up with a lot of new things in this game. He's been running this game for over a year now, and as a lot of people that picked up the game when it first came out a couple years ago have kind of stopped running, Ahmad has continued to like push this game forward and come up with new tech and all that. So it's been really fun to see what Ahmad's been able to do with this game as he's gotten down to a sub 33.
Yeah, and he's getting to the point where he could honestly take world record any day now. His run is only, I think, like 4 seconds away from world record now. Something like that. It's really, really close. Okay, so yeah, we're going into Fuse now, and we have access to Bounce's weapon, which is the bounce ball, and probably one of my favorite weapons in this game. You end up shooting, if you're doing the regular version, you shoot 3 bouncy balls forward, and if you're using the Power Gear version, you shoot 6 bouncy balls, 3 behind you and 3 in front of you. And it's such a neat weapon, and it squeaks when it explodes, so it's hilarious. So
this is a really cool room. We have laser cycles we got to get past. That was really nice right there. And then we have one more. The laser cycles, you'll kind of get stuck behind them. So yeah, that was perfect.
Yeah, that torch there actually was something Ahmad added. We used to do like a Buster version there, and Ahmad found a torch strategy to make that cycle a little bit easier.
Another blink and you miss mini boss. And I think we have time for a donation or two, Sky.
Sounds good. We have a $15 donation from Helicon who says, "Go Ahmad, you got this." And a $25 donation from Base Guy who says, "Good luck out there, Ahmad, doing Finland proud."
Thank you very much for the donations. Appreciate it. Okay.
got it.
Yeah, you can talk about this one.
You got it.
Okay, so here we have a vertical room. Again, the laser cycles are really important. Just barely missed the timing on that, so we're gonna have to deboost or wait there a little bit. You're trying to very closely time the jet jumps to get around the laser cycles, but overall, really good stage. That didn't cost him much time.
Yeah, he got the first laser cycle too, which is one of the harder ones to get in my opinion. All right, so we're going into Fuse. Fuse is a pretty complicated fight. We start this with a buffered power bounce, and then we're going to try and do a charged power shot right when the shield goes down, and then 2 more power shots to finish out the fight. And he executes.
That is such a beautiful fight.
Perfectly.
I just love how that looks. Like, you coil up and you just meet him in the middle. Like, you're there before he gets there, and just, oh, that's so good.
It's like that whole like anime thing, like you're already dead, like we're already ready for you.
Right.
Yeah, that's a beauty. This game has some really cool boss fights. Carter actually came up with a lot of them himself. And you, as I was mentioning before, you just have so much power at your fingertips in this game. Between the power gear, the fact that you can swap weapons with the right analog stick and all that, like, you can get really creative with how you tackle situations. So a lot of the boss fights really take advantage of that.
All right, so we're going into Fuse Man, or sorry, not Fuse Man stage, Acid Man stage. And Acid Man stage is the water stage for Mega Man 11. You'll see that a couple of the rooms have flowing water. They increase your speed in whatever direction the water's flowing. And you'll also see some of the floor water that is like different colors. So there will be like blue water, yellow water, red water, and green water. Whenever like these syringe enemies shoot like an acid glob into that, it'll change color until it gets to green. And when it's green, it'll start to damage you. It's like acid at that point.
Yeah, as a speedrunner, we don't care as much about stage mechanics. We just go fast enough that we don't have to deal with it. But yeah, this is a cool strat here. You use blast to float
Very fast,
in the air. It's okay. It's okay. You can use one. Ahmad uses 2, and it's okay. We've come to accept it. Another cool mini boss where you just throw like every weapon that you have in your arsenal at him and he dies.
Yeah, so we have our next W tanks coming up here, and we're just going to be using that to impact across this very long horizontal room here. The old strategy used to be like when it was the one W tank strat, just to kind of slide across the bottom. But with all the extra impact we have, we can just impact across that part.
Yeah, unfortunately, not a ton of luck that Ahmad got. He got it. He got okay. He got maybe a couple drops, but this is one of those stages where you can get a ton of drops and just impact everywhere. But we didn't quite get that lucky in this stage.
We still have 2 more chances here. Unfortunately, no drops. One last chance from the syringe. Nothing. Stingy enemies.
That's okay. It was well executed. That's all you can really handle as a runner. This is a really interesting game because drops actually favor you. So it's kind of one of those things where RNG, you actually like get positive RNG rather than stuff that costs you time. You get drops that save you time.
That was a.
And with that kill, that's 8 robots down. That's a really good 8 robots.
Yeah, you really.
No
well
deaths,
executed.
no bad transformations. Yeah. Really good pace here.
Yeah.
So the last 2 weapons that we got, Fuse Man and Acid Man, they're not terribly useful in the speedrun outside of some quick kills for some bosses, so we won't see them too much. We might occasionally see like an Acid or Fuse cameo if there's a like misselection of weapons, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's a shame. They're both really good weapons casually. Especially Acid Shield here in Wily 1 can save your bacon, but because you have so many strong weapons, the problem with both Fuse and Acid is that they slow Mega Man down for a little bit. He has to stop to activate them. And we just have weapons that can do the same function, but on the fly. Speaking of on the fly, we're gonna fly through Wily 1 here.
Yeah, this stage is like, Ahmad's gonna make this look easy, but this is honestly like the biggest run killer, like the scariest stage, especially when you're first starting to run this game, because so many screens are just filled with pits, and more often than not, when you're gonna die in Mega Man 11, it's gonna be to a pit. And if your impacts are like slightly off, or you like position them incorrectly, you can just go flying into a pit, and you get put back quite a bit.
Yeah, the positioning of these impacts is a little bit more precise than they look.
There's another one of those rush boosts there.
Yeah, really cool using the momentum of the power shot. We actually get to skip the ammo there. Another scary screen.
Almost overheating. I gotta do a backup there.
Yeah, managing that gear, you gotta toggle the power gear on and off. You have it on when you're using it, and then you gotta turn it off again.
I guess we
another.
probably should mention what happens when you overheat. So like when you overheat, you actually lose access to your speed gear and power gear. So it's really important to make sure you don't overheat.
Using a little speed gear there. You actually don't lose. You can actually climb with Jet the same speed with speed gear. Vertically, you move the same speed with it or without it, even though the game slows down.
I think we saw this guy last run, didn't we?
Yeah, we've us Mega Man fans have seen this guy once or twice before.
So yeah, we have Yellow Double. He's back, and he's yellow. We're gonna throw 4 blast mines at him for the first hit, and he's gonna split up into a bunch of mini Yellow Doubles. Ahmad's gonna do a damage boost and place 4 mines on the right wall, and detonate those, and then follow up with 2 power blasts, and finish off the fight.
Yeah, really nice. Killed him in the bottom left corner there. That's a good one. Much like almost any Yellow Devil fight, there are phases where you can't damage him. So it's kind of a cycle-based thing where you got to get the quick kill, or you're gonna have to wait him out while he pieces out and goes across the screen again.
So this stage here, Wily 2, is honestly probably the most complex stage of the run. There's just so much going on in this stage. There's tons of weapons being used. Is like the perfect stage to really explain just like how much weapons or how powerful weapons are in this game. Like you feel really powerful by the time you get to the 8 robot stages, and you'll see like Ahmad's going to use a little bit of everything to just try and go as fast as possible. There's going to be some torch, some block, some blast, lots of impacting.
Tundra, Jet, like just everything you have in your arsenal, you're unloading it here in Wily 2. And it's so dynamic too because again, you're killing a ton of enemies here, and you can get large drops from 6-7 enemies, or you can get it from 0. So you have to kind of react to what you get and really know your way around the stage.
Yeah, there's just also like, as you were saying, like there's tons of enemies that can give drops in this stage too, and there's a lot of them that'll give large drops. So like just how much your route can change just based on what ammo you get in this stage is quite significant actually.
This is one of my favorite rooms in the run right here. You got Torch, you got Jet, you're gonna blast and then go immediately into a Jet jump and an impact and a blast and an impact. It's so good. You just, people have described this run as finger gymnastics, which I 100% agree with. You are just, your fingers are going all over the place, just on the controller. You're using every button basically.
All right, so we're hoping for at least one more drop here. Let's see if we get one. We had a small drop. Unfortunately, that's not enough. So this fight that we're coming up to now, there's 2 different versions of the fight depending on how much ammo you have. Ahmad's going to have to do the 2 impact. Oh, never mind. He got a large drop, so he's going to be able to do the 3 impact version. So for the 3 impact version of this fight, Ahmad is going to start it off by firing 2 bounce balls at Mauvern. First one to open him up and the second one to hit him. He's going to then do a power impact into Mauvern, which will cause him to close again. And then he's going to do 2 more bounces followed by an impact as he's getting hit by the second bounce. A Tundra as he's leaving the screen, or coming back into the screen, and then a power impact to finish off the fight.
Takes longer to describe the fight than it does to do the fight. There's so much going on. Really nice fight, really nice. What's cool about that one is impact has a function where when you impact into something, the explosion part actually hits through iframes. So if you have enough impact to do that, you get to kill him a little bit quicker than you normally would.
Yeah, this game's iframes are actually pretty interesting, and there's there's like a second set of iframes. So there's the like regular iframes for when you hit an enemy, and then there's a secondary set that like only impact and the charge power buster can activate. And like when the second one, or when you pierce iframes with one of those, it ends up resetting the timer. Anyway, so we're doing impact again. This time we have Tundra, so we're going to try and kill him even quicker by doing a power Tundra at the start and then doing the 3 charge power busters. We should end up killing him on the 3rd attack here, which is going to be a jump. And we did end up getting it, so we don't get to see Big Boy impact this run, which Ahmad, I'm sure, is quite pleased with.
I am.
We probably have time for donations here.
Sorry. Yeah, probably a few. The next few fights are the same, and then the ones at the end will be different. So yeah, go ahead and take away like 3 or 4, I think.
All right, sounds good. We have a $100 donation from Zali who says, "We love the Mega Man block. Keep fighting, Mega Man, for everlasting peace and justice against cancer." We have $50 from Garian who says, "Have to donate for the Mega Man block. It is my favorite video game series of all time. So, what is your favorite piece of music from the Mega Man series? Mine is, of course, the one and only Dr. Wily's stage 1, 2 in Mega Man 2. I actually wanted to know that from the runners and commentators as well, if y'all want to chime in on that.
Favorite track? Probably Mega Man 5's Wily Castle theme.
I like the I like the Wily music in 11.
Just a second. Mega Man 4, Cossack 3.
I like it how y'all were so decisive. Mine is Mr. X's theme from Mega Man 6.
When you run this game, you've been asked that question like 500 times, I think.
A few more donations, or are we getting on the more unique bosses?
One more.
Okay. Absolutely. We have a $25 donation from Italian who says, "It's not often I get the chance to donate live, and I'm excited to have it be during the Mega Man block. Good luck, have fun to all of the runners." Back to y'all. Fantastic run, by the way.
Thank you for the donations.
All right, so we do have Tundra's weakness this time around, which is Fuse Man's weapon. So we're gonna do a power fuse down, a power fuse up, charge a power buster, and hit the second part of that into him right as the fuse hits, and then finish the fight off with a power fuse.
Yeah, you get to see how Fuse actually works, where it kind of hugs walls. So say goodbye to Fuse.
Then for Torch, we actually don't have enough Tundra to do the fight like how we did last time. So we're gonna do a power Tundra, do a charge power buster, and then we're gonna finish off with a regular Tundra and a power Tundra. If you were paying attention when the blast fight was happening last time, we did the blast fight opening with the Tundra last time, but we don't have Tundra anymore, so we're going to be doing a different version of the fight now, where we're going to open up with a charge power buster, hit a torch when he lands on the left side of the screen, and then finish it off with a charge power buster and a power torch.
This was the very nice. Gets to skip his power gear phase. That's the old school version of the fight that we used to do in both, but then we discovered the Tundra version. But since we don't have Tundra, it's nice that it gets to stay alive, and we get to use it in refights as well.
So I'm just going to spend this stage for the shoutouts. So obviously, thank you GDQ for having me. Just accepting this run and everything. Thank you so much. Thank you, my commentators, Karter and Fasta. You guys are amazing. Obviously, Fasta being the biggest inspiration for me to play this game, and
oh man, that means a lot.
And Karter, just absolutely amazing support and pretty much the mentor I've had for this game. He literally taught me everything Mumu didn't. Also, shoutouts to Mumu for making the Mega Man 11 tutorial, and he's going to play Shovel Knight later today, I think. So be sure to check that out.
This was such a good run. This was a really, really good GDQ run.
All right, so we're going to be coming up on time once he destroys the second phase of Wily, which we're going to be seeing that in just a moment. So this is the first phase here. We're going to be doing some acid barrier attacks against him because Wily is weak to acid. The shield actually hits for quite a bit more damage, so we're going to be seeing that being used even against the second form here. They definitely wanted you to use this weapon in the most awkward way possible for Wily, of course.
Gonna be getting ready for time soon.
Time. Oh my god, what a run.
What was that time? That had to be a low 33, right?
33:18.
That's so good. That is such a good run. Congrats.
Thank you. So, for the rest of the shoutouts, classic Mega Man community, of course. You guys are super awesome, super friendly community. So if people wants to learn any of the classic Mega games, the community is certainly going to help you in that. My own community, of course, you guys are extremely supportive, and without you, I don't think I would be here right now. So thank you all. Special shout out to Finruns, who keeps spreading the joyful message of speedrunning in Finland, so you guys are also amazing. Obviously, thank you, Karter and Fastatcc again, and yeah, keep donating for the good cause, and good luck for the rest of the runners.
Thanks for having us.
You plagiarist!
All right, can we hear it one more time for Ahmad and Mega Man 11? That was an awesome run, and GG on the time. We have $25 from Mivu, who says, if there's any time to donate, it's the Mega Man block. Let's hit cancer with the Buster. $25 from King of Keith, who says, Mega Man created a 30-year obsession with video games for me. I'm beyond hyped to be able to watch this run on my day off. Thanks for all the good you do. And a little bit of an update on incentives as well. I had meant to do this before the previous run, but with Tony Hawk coming up so soon, I'm sure you're wanting to know about the extra fun stuff. That incentive has been met, so thank you very much, y'all. Very much looking forward to the Tony Hawk extra fun stuff incentive. We have $250 from JoJo's Story, who says, loving the Mega Man block and all the great commentary. Let's kick cancer's butt. And with that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Awesome Games Done Quick 2021. We have a $10 donation from Maddie J, who says, Tony Hawk's Underground 2 is one of my favorite games ever. The extra stuff incentive is so worth it. And we're playing Mega Man. Let's blast Dr. Wily out of the way so we can help that sick kid. 500K hype. Let's get there, folks. And with that, we are going to go to an interview now. Tony Hawk's Underground 2 with Biglaw and Jhobz. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Skybilz. Again, I am Jhobz, and I'm joined by Biglaw, who's going to be running Tony Hawk's Underground 2 in just a little bit. Biglaw, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about Tony Hawk. So this game that you're going to be running, specifically story mode on easy, is what is the category you're going to be running, has a 9-minute estimate. Like, tell me how you're possibly going to beat this game this fast.
So Thug 2, it's a lot different from the previous title, Tony Hawk's Underground, where the goal system is more akin to the previous Pro Skater titles. So you can kind of build up the progress in different goals throughout your playthrough of the level. And it just results in the levels being incredibly short. My PB as of a few days ago is a 6:46, which is... It's just lightning fast. I was very happy to get it. But I just put 9 minutes as a very conservative estimate in case I goober up some specific tech. So
Yeah, I mean, oftentimes with Tony Hawk games, I know so much comes down to like getting every goal while doing one big combo. How much is that kind of a concern here? Are you worried about like dropping a combo near the end and having to redo effectively the whole thing?
I wouldn't say like that's entirely a huge concern. Like there isn't like specific. I mean, there are some goals that have like score requirements, but it's not to such an extreme degree like the previous Pro Skater games. And we are running on the easy difficulties, so things are, as you expect, a little bit easier. But makes things go real fast, so I'm not complaining.
Well, awesome. We also got some like questions from social media for this. So anybody, if you want to, we are doing that for some of the interviews. You can follow at Games Done Quick on Twitter, and you can ask questions here. So I did want to jump into some of those because a lot of people are asking some good stuff. Shockwave asks, "Who's your favorite secret skater in Thug 2?"
There is a lot of secret skaters. I think one of my favorites, I'm actually not going to spoil it because there is a certain character. He's got a kind of a greenish hue to him. You may have seen him before, but I might be playing as him during our little extra fun stuff incentive that was met. So thank you very much for hitting that.
Interesting, interesting. I have some ideas, but I will also not guess so as to not accidentally spoil. Now, you've actually run a bunch of Tony Hawk games and a bunch of other games. Like you're just kind of a proficient speedrunner. You've been doing a whole lot of different games. I like if I pull up your profile here, you've done Portal, Glitchless, which I've also done. Great run. Pringles, you know, the good old meme, Fable, We Happy Few, GTA Online, a lot of great stuff, and of course several Tony Hawk games. What got you into Tony Hawk speedrunning in particular out of all the games that you've done?
Specifically, Tony Hawk speedrunning, I'd have to say it was the SGDQ 2016 run of Tony Hawk's Underground ran by fives. I think that's like the first like Tony Hawk speedrun that really resonated with me because I love Tony Hawk's Underground. It's probably one of my favorite games of all time, and just seeing that really inspired me to pick up the game. And just later that year, I started running. So.
Yeah, they've always looked like fun and fast. And would you say that they're kind of easy learns, or are they kind of harder on the spectrum of speedruns to learn?
I'd say they're easy to learn, but there's a very high skill ceiling when it comes to it. Like just pure inputs, it's just like it's very precise and requires like near perfect execution to do very optimally. So
I think the nice thing is everybody's played a Tony Hawk game, it feels like, right? So they understand that feeling of trying to get all these massive combos and then bailing, you know, wiping out during it. So they know that like when you have to actually do all these specific things, it's not just button mashing. It's all execution based. I did want to mention that also. That was the question I was going to ask either way, but Tyler Susstream also asked that on Twitter. So some like minds out there today. Is Bullets wanted to ask, do you have any actual skating experience, like IRL, you know, in the real life when it's not 2020, which it's not anymore.
It's true. I did get a skateboard as a child. My parents they saw how much I loved the video games, so like, hey, here's a skateboard. I lived in the middle of nowhere, so I couldn't really skate on anything. I did ride around a lot in the backyard on my back, just going down a hill. That was a lot of fun, but not really skateboarding.
Yeah. I right with you there pretty much. Like I think I learned how to do an ollie once in grass. never on pavement. Pretty great. We got so many people asking good questions, man. I'm just gonna keep pulling from them, make my job easy. At Alpha Boy 202Z said, "What's your favorite song featured in a Tony Hawk branded game?" Is it the classic answer, or is it something else?
I mean, Superman is a fantastic track, but I gotta go to my thug roots, and I gotta say that it's gotta be "Imaginary Places" by Bus Driver. It's it's such an interesting song, and how like they utilize this sample from classical music, just the flute going in. It's a classic. If you've played Thug, you know that song, and you know that it's just a pure banger.
I love how closely the music can be tied to like each individual game for so many people's experiences with these games. So with this game being so short, this run that you're going to be doing, I like to ask people, you know, what's one moment that people can come tune in for, but like they could tune in for the whole run. What should they tune in for? Like, why should somebody who maybe doesn't know much about Tony Hawk or specifically about Underground 2, why should they be looking forward to this one?
I think it's just an excellent showcase of execution. Like there's so much that's going on so quickly. I said that earlier, but it's just a very good display of skill. I don't want to like put myself on a podium, but I'm okay at the game. I'll admit.
Now's your chance to put yourself on a podium. It's okay. I'm giving you permission.
Like, it's just, I can't say. It's just it's a very visually pleasing run to watch, and just seeing all that's going on, you're just like, you kind of have to watch it a couple times over to really fully understand the scope of what's going on in the run.
Yeah.
I have my friend Nays doing commentary, and he's going to try to keep up and try and keep everyone in the know, but it's a lot that's going on. So
yeah, Tony Hawk games always a great spectacle to see. I think they're great. There's some of the first speed runs I watched when I was first watching SGDQ 2014. That was like kind of my introduction to GDQ, and always got hooked by him back then. Biglaw, with that, we have successfully made the interview longer than your personal best in this game. That was my goal. So, big round of applause to us. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm excited for your run. I hope everybody out there is as well. And I'm going to go ahead and have Skybilz take us in to the next run, which is, I'm double checking, stalling, definitely not, is going to be Mega Man X3 from Luis Miguel, who saw a great run from earlier in this week. So take it away.
All right, we have $25 from Mr. Funkmaster, who says, I prefer Legos to Mega Blocks, but I still love the Mega Man block. That's the kind of pun we needed. We haven't seen too many puns today. Thank you very much for that pun. Appreciate it. $5 from BZ Archer. Did somebody say $5 train for the Mega Man block? Time to get serious.